And we are live, guys. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the perks or the incentives you get as a first-time home buyer in Canada. So if you're thinking of buying your first property and you want to know what you qualify for as a first-time home buyer, then this video is for you. So first of all, I would like to clarify that being a first-time home buyer does not necessarily mean you would qualify for all the perks. So watch the video to the end so you can have an idea of what options you have available to you, and you would also know which ones you qualify for. The first incentive or perk you get as a first-time homebuyer in Canada is called the land transfer tax rebate. Before we dive into what exactly land transfer tax is and who qualifies, it's important to note that not all the provinces in Canada offer this incentive to first-time homebuyers. Now, the only provinces that offer this rebates are Ontario, British Columbia, and Prince Edward Island. Now, let's get into what land transfer actually is. So, land transfer tax is the fee that you as a buyer would pay to have the title transferred to your name or the names of those that want to be on title. The funny thing is, this rebate has been around in Ontario before 2007, but it was only for new construction homes. After 2007, the Ontario government opened the rebate up to all types of houses. Before January 1st of 2017, the government only gave a refund of up to $2,000 and then later increased it to $4,000 after January 1st of 2017. And I believe this is because the government realized housing was gradually becoming a problem for people who wanted to buy their first primary residence. So to be eligible for a land transfer tax refund, you must be at least 18 years of age, that's one. Two, you have not owned a home or an interest in a home anywhere in the world. And three, your spouse has not owned a home or interest in a home anywhere in the world while he or she was your spouse. Next on our list of perks is the RRSP program. So the full meaning of RRSP is Registered Retirement Savings Plan. There are different things you can use your RRSP for apart from being your retirement savings plan. But let's focus on real estate for now. If you're a first-time homebuyer in Canada, the RRSP is a good source of funding for your mortgage down payment. The RRSP program allows first-time homebuyers to borrow up to $35,000 from the RRSP for a down payment tax-free. Also, if you're purchasing with someone who is also a first-time homebuyer, you can both access $35,000 from your RRSPs for a combined total of $70,000. How amazing is that? But keep in mind that this money you were taking out of your RSP is just a loan that must be paid back. I'm sure you were already thinking of how you could run away with the money. Don't worry, the government always has a way of getting you. So because this is a loan, there are primarily two ways you would have to pay this loan back into your RSP. It's either you pay the loan back within 15 years of owning the house, or you pay back from the proceeds you get from selling the house. That's if you sell the house before the 15-year timeline. It is important to note that you cannot decide to open an RRSP account today and withdraw the money tomorrow. The money has to be in your RRSP account for a minimum of 90 days before you can request for a withdrawal. In order to be eligible as a first-time homebuyer, you must meet the following criteria. 1. The RRSP funds you borrow must be in your account for at least 90 days prior to withdrawal. 2. You cannot have owned a home within the previous 4 years. This means the only time you will be considered as a first-time homebuyer again is after 4 years of not owning any house. Number 3, you must intend to live in the home within 1 year of purchase as your primary residence. Number 4, if you have used the home buyer's plan before, you cannot have any outstanding balance due. And number 5, you must make the withdrawal from your RRSP within 30 days of taking title of the home. And number 6, you must be a Canadian resident, obviously. Next on our list is the CMHC program. CMHC stands for Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. This program was launched in September of 2019 and it was called the First-Time Homebuyer Incentive. This program is a shared equity mortgage designed to lower a first-time homebuyer's monthly mortgage payments without increasing the amount they need to save for a down payment. The amazing thing about this program is that it is an interest-free loan and can be repaid at any time without incurring penalties. Here's how the program works. If eligible, CMHC would contribute about 5 to 10% of the down payment of the house, but you must have a minimum down payment of 5% for the house. I'm sure you'll be wondering what's the catch. Since there is a shared equity program, you pay back the loan when you decide to sell the property or within 25 years. Let me give you an example. Let's say you took the 5% incentive on a house priced at $200,000, which would be, $10,000. If you sell your house for $300,000 or the value of your home increased to $300,000 at the 25-year mark, you would have to repay 5% of the current value or $15,000. On the flip side, if the home's value decreased to $100,000, you'd only have to repay $5,000, which is 5% of the $100,000. For you to be eligible for this program, you need to meet the following requirements. 1, the borrower must be a first-time home buyer. We should all know that at this point. Number 2, the borrower must have a household income of less than $120,000. Number 3, the total mortgage amount must not exceed 4 times your annual income. So in this case, since your income has to be less than $120,000, your purchase price must be around $480,000. Now, keep in mind, this does not apply to all cities. And lastly, you must be a Canadian resident or citizen. Next on our perks list is the tax credit. We are not really going to dwell much on this perk because it's quite straightforward, yeah? The tax credit is somewhat like a grant that was introduced by the federal government in the 2009 federal budget. It allows first-time home buyers to recover some of the costs associated with their purchase, such as legal fees, land transfer taxes, and home inspections. As of 2009, first-time home buyers could get a tax credit of about $750,000, but the 2022 federal budget allowed first-time home buyers to get a tax credit of up to $1,500. In order to be eligible for the credits, you must meet certain requirements. 1, the home you buy must be a new or existing home in Canada. 2, you must have the intention of residing in the property or in the house within 1 year of purchase. Number 3, the home must be registered in your name or your spouse's name. In addition, you shouldn't have owned a home within the past 4 years or have lived in a home owned by your spouse within the past 4 years. And finally, you must have documentation to prove your purchase. And last but not the least, we have the FHSA program. FHSA stands for First Time Home Savings Account. Now, this program was first announced by the federal government in 2022, and as always, the program was made to help buyers save for their first home. The First Home Savings Account combines features of the tax-free savings account, which is the TFSA, and the Registered Retirement Savings Plan, which is the RRSP. But the FHSA has some added advantages. First of all, whatever contributions you make to your FHSA account would be tax-free, and this is similar to the RRSP. Secondly, any money your First Home Savings account earns would be tax-free, and this is also similar to the RRSP. Where the First Home Savings account supersedes the RRSP and the TFSA is the aspect where you do not have to pay back any money you withdraw from your First Home Savings account. How amazing is that? Another cool thing is you have 15 years to buy a home from the first time you open your FHSA. If you have not done so by the 15-year time frame, the funds can be transferred to an RRSP or RRIF account without paying any tax. One important thing you need to note is that contributions to the FHSA are limited to only $8,000 per year, with a lifetime maximum of $40,000. So I would suggest you reach out to your bank or your financial advisor for more information about the FHSA program. I really hope this content was helpful. If you would like to see more of this type of content, let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Stay blessed, guys.